And so we begin into our yin practice. Get yourself seated on something that's a little higher, folded blanket, a pillow, bolster, whatever you'd like. Let your spine be nice and tall. Allow the foundation of your pelvis to rest in. So you could nestle down into the earth and she would hold you. Let the crown of your head get a little taller. Inside of your mouth, spacious and relaxed. Allowing a quietness to the breath. And slowly begin to gather your energy. Gather your energy. Bringing the lens of your focus here to your body. Now, the body that you're practicing in now, without the shoulds or the judgments, but just a deep appreciation that we get to do this practice, that we're here, that we showed up. Showing up is more than half of the challenge for many of us. Distraction is a really big thing in our culture, in our society. So showing up for yourself here, taking the time to be present and land. Notice the feel and the sound of your breath. As you gather your attention from whatever the day has been, whatever you're doing afterward, gather your attention to this moment, to be present in this moment here and now. Softening the space around your heart. And let the breath drop deeper into the belly. Noticing. Be welcome. Namaste. I'm glad you're here. Welcome, Leah. Nice to see you. All right, we are going to start in butterfly, one we all know. So if you're here in studio or online, you might want a folded blanket underneath your hips. That doesn't call you, that's fine. You're going to rock back and forth, Find that front edge of your sit bones. You might want some blocks to support. You might not, but you can have them near you in case they call. This is a joint practice rather than a muscular practice. So as you walk the cheeks back, you're going to lift and lengthen the spine, root your sit bones down, and on an exhale, slowly let the belly pull in and begin to let the shoulders, the head get heavy. To the degree that is possible for you, begin to round the spine, softening the heart, and begin to release your weight into gravity. This is another place that a block might come in handy. You could take a block and put it between your the bottoms of your feet and the inside of the ankles here, and you could rest your head. Sometimes that feels good, at least to start, and sometimes it just feels really nice and opening for the back of the neck and the spine to let that area of your body be received into gravity. It's our opening pose, allowing the body to soften into this. Good. So as we work our way and our attention into the joints, notice where the muscles might be gripping. Soften the knees, the insides of your thighs. Relax the shoulders. This is not a practice where we force anything to happen. So it's a different mindset, a mind of releasing into and allowing. So it's an interesting practice to address all the places where maybe things aren't as they should in our minds be, how something should be, but we get to listen to what is and to how something is. Excuse me. Allowing the breath to deepen. Give this 2 more breaths. Good. And slowly roll the heart space up. Lengthen the spine. Letting the crown of the head get tall again. Maybe bring your hands just to the outsides of the knees. Pull them up and make your way all the way down onto your back. Into rest pose and being mindful of those transitions where we're moving from one position to another. It's often where we check out, we lose our focus. Coming onto our back, letting the back of the heart soften. Feeling the hip bones and your sit bones, the backs of the legs, the shoulders, your hands, the weight of your head. Letting this rest moment be a moment of integration and receiving. Notice the flow of energy through the hips. Notice the belly. Feel into your breath. Good. Give that 2 more breaths. Good. Bend your knees, roll to your side. And bring your knees, go into deer. The deer is that zigzag position. So I've got my left knee bent, right knee bends back. Going into as wide an open space as feels comfortable for you. You might want to sit on a blanket for some of you. Lengthen the spine. We're going to take about a minute here and then we're going to rotate this and open this a little bit more. So you might notice that right hip might be a little elevated. You've got a deep rotation happening on the inside of the thigh here, right into the hip socket. So the invitation here is to let that hip bone, that sit bone on that right side in particular, to get heavy. To release down. Noticing the breath. Relax the inside of the mouth. Feeling into this place of stillness. Allowing the heart space to get a little quieter. All right, take a breath in. And as you exhale, we're going to rotate across that left knee, across to the left, still keeping that openness of the right front of the belly. The belly roll around towards the floor and come down towards your elbows. Gentle rotation to the spine. Be here for a couple of minutes. Keep opening the inside of that right hip. Let the foot and knee open. Once you find your way in, notice things that are engaged. We need the engagement to move between poses. And then once we get there, relaxing the muscles. You can rest on a block or a bolster if getting to the floor is not the most comfortable. Breathing into the inside of the belly and that right side. Coming to stillness. Softening the space between the shoulder blades. And give this 2 more breaths. Good. And slowly roll the spine up. Back. Again, mindful through the transitions. Let that right hip get heavy. Release the gripping of the thigh. Lengthen the spine. Soften the shoulders. Give this about 2 more breaths. Relax your toes. Good. All right, lean out and just bring both legs out in front of you. Just let them windshield wiper from side to side. Circle through the ankles. Check in, pay attention, feel 2 sides of your hips. And let's come to the other side. Left knee bends back. Notice the instinct of that hip lifting up. Begin to release and drop it down. The closer the heel is into the thigh, possibly the easier you might find it, although it might tug a little bit on your knee. So pay attention if you need support there. Or you can bring that heel out a little bit and it might direct a little bit more energy into the hips. You can play with placement. You can also put something under, folded blanket underneath your hip. Okay, drop your tailbone down. Both sit bones especially begin to let that left hip get heavy. And stay curious. What are you noticing here? Again, a quiet stillness. Getting present. Softening the jaw. Tuning into the breath. Good. All right. On an inhale, slowly pull the belly around to the right. Keep opening up inside of that left leg. Bring it back. Make your way down to the elbows, either on the floor or a bolster or the block. Keep moving the belly around, opening. Find your way in and then begin to release and soften the engagement of the muscles. Getting deeper, getting beneath the energy of the muscles so that we connect to the fascia, the connective tissue, the meridians that run through the connective tissue. Keep noticing and feeling and listening to the sound of your breath. Into the energy of patience and compassion. And a deep stillness. And give that 2 more breaths. Excuse me. Good. And then slowly walk the spine up. Roll it up. Settle that left hip socket down and into gravity. Check through the shoulders, the crown of your head. Get nice and tall. Soften any gripping through the thigh. Give that 2 more breaths. Good. And then come into just a long leg pose. Roll, bounce the knees, check in through the ankles. Feel into the hips, pay attention to what you're noticing. Good. All right. Here into our dragonflies, wide angled position to the best and the most comfortable for you. It's not about working the inner thighs so much, but opening through the pelvic floor. If you want something underneath your sit bones, we're going to fold over right, fold over left, and go center. So lengthen your spine and just feel the base of your pelvic floor. So much irrigation happening there right now. You're going to lengthen up. As you exhale, you're going to pull the belly around to the right. Slowly walk the hands round the spine to the best of your ability. You also might like to put a block either side of the leg and rest the elbows down on that. That's also another option. Rounding the spine. Relax the toes, the ankles. You could also take a block and put it on your thigh, your knee, and let your forehead rest down. So little options, little ways to come in and adjust any position to create a win-win situation for yourself. Check if there's any gripping through your knees, through the upper thighs. Very mindfully, intentionally bring that lens inside your body and extend that invitation to soften, to ungrip, to allow yourself to come into a softness and receive gravity. Softening the space around the heart. Good. Get that one more breath. On an inhale, very carefully, roll the spine up. Be attentive to the rebound, that place where everything needs to readjust, reconfigure. As you align the spine up and just noticing the difference between the two sides of the torso. Lengthen the crown of your head. Inhale, and then as you exhale, pull the belly around towards the left. And slowly soften and round forward. Drop the head. Open the back of the neck, relax the shoulders. Noticing the edge, that place of resistance. Resistance has some really important information for us usually. Resistance is that place where we know that we need to stop and we need to listen. Energetically, resistance is something that can both keep us safe or it could box us in. It's interesting to just be with what we notice as we come deeper into our practice and we kind of go through these layers of understanding and connection. Hmm. Hmm. Give that one more breath. And slowly, again, staying present through transitions. Bring your spine back up, stacking the vertebrae one on top of the other. Make your way back to center. Now feel both sides of the torso. The jaw, the shoulders. Relax the tops of your thighs. Take a breath in. And we'll roll the spine forward. Good. Take your time. Being mindful, coming in. If you want to support your elbows with bolsters, block, pillows, you're welcome to do that. If you want to use a bolster long ways and support your head on it, you can do it that way. Just take a moment, maybe bounce the insides of the thighs, the backs of the knees. Make sure the legs are relaxed and you can ungrip any energy through the knees. Again, releasing effort, allowing yourself to receive the earth, to receive gravity. And dancing with those places of resistance, with compassion and curiosity. You have so much history in our joints, in the fascia. They talk about the fascia as having deep memory banks and intelligence. All the things that we've experienced, everything that has gone on is present in our tissues. Breathing into any place in your body that calls you right now. Soften the bottoms of your feet, your toes, checking in. Even your fingers, your jaw, tongue, space, the corners of your eyes, between your eyebrows. Good. Give that 2 more breaths. And then slowly walk the spine up. Lengthen. Receive. Pull up on the insides of your knees. Come long ways on your mat. Lie back into rest pose. Letting these last several poses be felt and deeply received into the bones, into the joints, into your cells. Feel your back body, the weight of your bones. Receiving the input. What do you notice? The deep inside energy of the pelvic floor, where the thigh energy reaches into the hips, the energy of the belly. Relaxing the shoulders, the back of the heart. Good. All right. Bend the knees. Roll to your side. And rolling up. Coming into shoelace. All right. So various supports of blankets. That's our knees crossed over like this position. So I'm going to ping my right knee under. Folded blanket under your hips might come in handy. Also a pillow or cushion might come in handy in other places as well. So you're going to bring up the other side, other leg, and slowly walk that left leg across to the right side. You might lean forward a little bit if you need to find that front edge of your sit bone. If you want a rolled blanket between anything between the two knees and legs, make sure you take care of yourself. Starting upright, find the front edge of your sit bones and let yourself settle here. Maybe your hands can just rest either on the insides of your feet or on the top of your knee and give yourself just a little bit of weight. Relax the inside of the mouth. So you've got the jaw and the cranium and the pelvic girdle, the pelvic floor. That bone structure is intimately related above and below, connected through this golden wand and cosmic light of our spine. Sometimes I call it the cosmic stir stick. Good. You can stay here. If you'd like to roll the spine forward, soften the belly, pull the spine back a little bit as you soften that heart space. You're welcome to drop the crown of the head forward. Hit your hands. Begin to work their way down and away from the knees. Deeply accessing the hips, deep inner hip joint and fluidity, increasing our flexibility over time with long, deep holds, gently stressing the joint structure, different than stretching the muscles. That's why I'm always asking you to pay attention to where you're engaging the muscles through your target areas, through the hips, through your thighs, and extending that invitation to soften and relax. Keep focusing the lens of your gaze inward, gradually unhooking from the external input, sight and sound, smell and taste, external touch. All those senses, the fifth limb, pratyahara. As we go into these stillness practices, we're invited to turn that lens deeply inward, revealing over time our own knowing, our own wisdom. And yes, with that comes shadow and things that aren't so comfortable as well. And give this 2 more breaths. Good. Slowly, if you were forward, roll the spine out. And then maybe lean back a little bit and take that top leg and bottom leg. Things might feel a little creaky. Take your time. Straighten everything out. Little windshield wiper. Rock the hips. Check in through the backs of the knees, the ankles. Receive, pay attention to what you're noticing. All right, opposite side. This is my more challenging side. So yeah, one side's probably going to be a little easier than the other. Again, check in whether or not you want to sit on a folded blanket, if you want any support between the knees. Make sure you stop at that first edge, that first place of resistance, and just take a moment to listen. Are you still within the bounds of safety? What's present? And you can check in if you want to take it a little deeper. Just find your resting spot for about a minute, and then we'll roll forward for those of you who want to roll forward. Check the jaw, the tongue, the breath, the shoulders. Each pose taking us deeper into our center, into alignment inside. If you want to roll forward, you're welcome to take this a little deeper. If it doesn't call to you on this side, that's absolutely fine. Noticing at any point if you become disconnected from your breath. A really good barometer for where we've checked out. Where the lens is no longer inward, but it's off and dancing with thoughts. No judgment. With so much love and compassion, invite it back to the inner gaze. The breath feeling every cell, every joint. Softening. Practice the letting go. And give that 2 more breaths. Good. If you rolled forward, slowly stack the vertebrae up. And then help the knees. And come all the way back onto your back into rest pose. Lengthen out, releasing that deep compression of shoelace, opening right through the front of the groin area. Feel oxygenated blood flooding through the whole front and inside of the hips, the pelvic floor, the belly. Feeling your back body melt and release. And be held by the floor, by the earth. Good. One more breath. Good. Transitioning into heart bench. Roll to your side. Come on up. This is a pose that's easiest with two of your bigger blocks, or you can also use a bolster. What we're doing is opening the inner surface of the spine, reaching back. So if you do have blocks, good, you do have it. All right, so one's long ways and one's tall. Got two there. Cool. All right. Find your sit bones. There'll be a little bit of adjustment. This is going to go along the upper back, just above the waist. You can lean back and let that longer part of the spine of the block go along the spine, your own spine, and then take the other block and it's going to go under the back of your head. You can bring the knees in constructive rest or straight out and wide, whatever feels best for your lower back and your body right now. And then the arms are spacious out to your side, opening the inside sockets of your shoulders, letting the elbows get heavy. Resting through the back of the spine, giving a little more space to the diaphragm through the front. Space around the heart. And give that 2 more breaths. Good. And bring your elbows into your side. Slowly bring the spine up. Bring your blocks to the side. Come on down on your back, and we will finish in a simple reclining twist. Extend the back body out along the mat. Rock the legs a little bit. Just take a moment here. Let your body settle. Good. All right. Keeping the left leg out along the floor. Lift up and tuck under the left hip. Bend the right knee and roll over to the left, leading it out with that right knee. Open your right arm. Turn your head to the right. Letting that right knee get heavy, make sure that you relax and ungrip that left hip and thigh. Again, there's always that place where we go in and take inventory. What are we noticing? What are we paying attention to? Where can I soften? Where am I holding? And what might need to happen to allow that to release? Check the shoulders, inside of the mouth. Good. Give that 2 more breaths. And slowly you might like to help that right knee up. Careful the lower back. Mindful as the spine readjusts and come back to center. Straighten that right leg out. Notice the 2 sides of your hips. And then on the left side. So lift up and tuck under the right hip. Bend the left knee. Drop it across. Letting the knee get heavy. Open up the left arm. Turn your head to the left. Good. Give that one more breath. Bring your head back to center carefully. You can help that left knee up. Be attentive to the spine. And bring that back to neutral. Extend the legs and bring yourself all the way into final rest pose. In yin, we call that pentacle. In the yang practice, we would call it shavasana. If you want a bolster under your knees or a blanket or a weighted blanket over you, you're welcome to do any of that. Make your cocoon. Get yourself really comfortable. Good. Let the back body soften and release. Feel the spine melt into the floor. Feel the back of the shoulders soften. Notice the vertebrae as they begin to drop deeper, a little bit deeper into gravity, all the way down to the back of the hips. Letting the sit bones deepen their connection into the heart of the earth. Relaxing through the legs, backs of the knees, the thighs soften. Down to the calves, all the way down to the backs of the heels, the bottoms of your feet. Releasing. Deepening into your own center. Your own inner quiet. Inhale. And exhale. Deepening the breath. Feeling into the cells and the spaces between the cells. Slowly begin to wake up your body. Stretching. Listening to that inner guidance of what wants to move and stretch as you wake up. And gradually make your way to your side. And then roll your spine up. Put something underneath your hips. Find your sit bones. Press down, lengthen up to crown of your head. Get a little taller. Maybe there's a little more space inside to outside. Notice the quality of your breath and your own inner presence and connection. A deep center in your heart. Take a breath in, bring your palms together. Namaste.